Okay, so you really want to stick around and watch the result of this race. It's quite impressive for us. So yeah, make sure you watch it till the end. Right, so I've just had a phone call off Johnny. He said the birds were liberated at 9 o'clock into northwest wind. It seems quite windy at the moment, so hopefully it'll be quite a fast race. So I reckon 10:30. If we get them by 10:30, then they're onto a decent pace, and then obviously slows down after that point. So let's see. Right, so it's Thursday today, and I've decided I'm going to send this weekend. The weather's not going to be very good tomorrow, although tomorrow's Friday anyway, and we're really trying to just sort of navigate the weather at the moment. So now I've just the one that came back late from the race, this one here, we're not going to send because she's got 2 puncture wounds. So she's I think she's been had by a peregrine and probably went to ground, which is why she turned up a day late, which is a shame actually, because I had high hopes for that one. It just felt good. It felt like it was quite strong. I mean, obviously strong enough to repel a peregrine falcon attack. I'm just doing the water now, so the problem I have is I have to go to work and then come back to train them and then go back into work later. So everybody else, I'm sure, that works and races pigeons can appreciate this. I'm not going to get a chance to scrape them out. Yeah, so rushing around a little bit today because work's busy, but I've still got to get the birds trained, otherwise we won't come anywhere again. Right, so here we are by the roadside. Weather's not looking brilliant, but I'm pretty sure they'll find their way back from this. We've tossed here half a dozen times, so we've got 2 lots of hens and then 3 lots of cocks, and then we'll let them go at 5-minute intervals, so just giving them a chance to get acclimatised. No sun really for bearing, but I'll let them go shortly. I don't think I could have picked a more picturesque spot really. Rubbish, isn't it? But it's convenient because the A1's just there and I can get straight back on it and get back. They're heading northbound. That's not the way to go. Come on, turn around. There we go. Just see them just up there. Right, I'll get my binoculars out, give them 5 minutes and then we'll let the others go. So that's 5 hens, 4 cocks, and then we'll let the rest of the cocks go. We've got 2 more crates of cocks. Ready? Okay, so it's looking like tomorrow might well be our last race. I thought last weekend's would be our last race, but the weather's been pretty good this week, so we've managed to get 3 training tosses in and loft flying most days. Although the birds are almost falling to bits now, their feathers are falling out quite quickly, or quite a lot. I go in there every morning and it looks like a sparrowhawk's been in there with them. So. really need to be checking all of them because they're in quite different stages of molt. So I want to make sure that they haven't lost any or too many flights. I don't really know what I'm looking for, to be honest, but I assume it'd be obvious. And their weight seems to be a lot better at the moment, so that's good. So I've just put 1983 in the basket here. She's been the first bird back for us for the last 2 races, and she was the 3rd bird back for the race before that, so I'm hoping that she comes back tomorrow. Right, big lad, this is 2012, is it? Right, so we've got 9 hens and 12 cocks that we're going to send. I'm going to keep a few of them back because they're either look like they're molting too much. The one that we sewed up, that we glued up, that had its crop split open, I'm going to keep that one back because I feel like it's done its duty for this season. So I'll hold that back. And there's the one that was hawked the other day. So I think there's 3 or 4 that we're not sending, and then we're going to send another 21. So hopefully, I think a few of them actually look quite good. I'm hoping they'll do quite well. Right guys, let's go! I built my loft in the wrong place, it's really shady. Look at this. How nice and sunny it is on that side. So these are the 4 that I haven't sent. We've got Zoolander, which I think has been pecked in the eye potentially, so I didn't want to send him. We've got the one that arrived the day after the race, the last race that we sent, and that had been hawked, so we haven't sent that one. But this is the one that we glued up, glued crop, sorry. So we haven't sent her because she's done really well actually, so I feel like she deserves an early retirement for this season. And then we've got this one here which looks like it's got quite a good head molt going on, so I decided not to send it just because yeah, molting can be quite stressful for them and didn't really want to risk losing any. So they're just outside in the crate at the moment next to my viewing bench, waiting over there for the get that in focus for the birds to come. You want to learn doing kick-ups? Try doing kick-ups with your ball.
I can.
Can you?
Yeah,
Alright, try and do 20.
even Zach can't do that.
Well then that'd be...
You can't do that.
I know I can't, but you'd be better than everybody if you could. We should expect to see them hopefully within the next 15 minutes, but it was only me that sent in the club yesterday because most people have finished. A lot of people have got fat eye running through. It seems to be a lot of that around at the moment, which is a virus apparently. But we haven't got that, so we've sent anyway so we can race against the rest of the fed. 20 past 10. Hopefully they'll start arriving soon. Seagull. Really? Come on. Hey, 83, isn't it? Three together, that's quite quick. That is a fast race. That's 25 past they got here. They were circling for a bit, but oh, pleased with that. Me and Archie were just doing some football tricks. So Archie was showing me some football tricks. I looked up and the birds were circling. Right, who's that? That's 1998, 1983 again, as she always does. 1994. We said 94, didn't we, Arch? If we were going to nominate any birds, it would be 83 and 94. And they're the two that have turned up. 94 came first this time, but 1983 was with them. All together. Go and sit down. Yes. That's good. That's good. All in 27. So that's pretty quick. It's been a good strong wind behind them. So 60 mile an hour, 96 miles in less than an hour and a half. Over 60 mile an hour. Right. See if we've got any more coming. Didn't see where they came from. I think they've come from right over there, but 26:08. I reckon we lost about 30-40 seconds circling. There's one. Come around. Let's see where they're coming from. Were they coming from over there? They were coming from that way, weren't they?
There they are.
West. Not when it's come down. I feel like it's coming from over there, over the west. Come here, I'll give you the results. You'll never believe it. Guess what?
What?
We won.
Wait,
We came first, and second, and third, and fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth. Look at that. We won. How do you think we managed that? Yeah, we were the only people that entered any birds. So we came first, and we also came last. So there we go. But see how we come in the federation. That's just for the club. We still raced against everybody else in the fed. So you can see the birds are quite heavily in molt now. We're now into October, and just fed them. I've got to give them a good scrape up. But this is what we've got left of the hens. This white one here, Ryan not Brian, turned out to be a bit of a rubbish bird really. We've raced that one a few times, but it can't seem to go above 100 miles, and I've sent it twice and it's not turned up. We'll probably end up using her to rear somebody else's eggs. Come out the feeder. As you can tell, I'm a little bit late feeding them, and I've moved to feeding them once a day. Right, so this is what we really wanted to see. This is what all the effort has been for. And spelt my name wrong, but that doesn't matter. We got the first 8 positions in the federation for our last race, and that was from Darlington, and it was a fresh northwest, and they did come quick. And so our winning bird, which was 1994, this is bred by Dave. We've got 1994. This one also came second in the first ever race we did in the federation. That was with 1,399 birds. It was second in the whole federation. It's the same bird won it. Then the one just behind that, these first 3 actually, all you'll see on the video, they all landed, or they were all circling together at the same time. And 1983 in there again. Look, every single race that one is up there or thereabouts, at least for us. It's not always anywhere in the federation, but does pretty well. And then 1998 came third. I think any one of those 3 could have won it because they all just circled together. But 1998 was third in the federation, but also third in the federation in the first race that we did. And that's the only appearance that 1994 and 1998 have made. Is the first race and the last race, and they managed to win it, or the 94 managed to win it in the last one. 1983, that was bred by Charlie. That one finished quite far down, I think, in the first race, but then since then has been the only bird that's been in the fed for us, really. Where are we? 16th in the fed there, 1983, and then where we're here, 38th in the fed, and that was 1983 again. And that was with 11,000, that'd be nice. 1,132 birds and 509 birds. So yeah, pretty pleased with that, really. Interesting that it's those same 3 birds that seem to be performing well. What I did was I put all the results into a spreadsheet and looked at the average result for the loft and which birds came first, or their positions just within my loft. And then I did the same thing for within the club, and then where they placed in the federation. And the federation results, obviously, you can see there that 94, 98 and 83 do the best. But in the loft, although those birds are always there, 2011 is always in the top 5 and has never been outside of the top 5 for us. But it's never featured really in the federation or the club, so it's interesting anyway. So these are my boxes that I'm building at the moment. So I've measured these up, and I've got 2 sets of these, and I'll use these for the widowhood cocks if I do widowhood, which I most likely will, and I'll also use these for breeding. So I've just had this made at work. We've got a laser cutter, so I just cut a bit of plywood as a front, just to see if this would work, and so that we can drop it in there. It's not quite wide enough. I need to adjust it so that it's a bit wider on the tabs, and then I've got the door in there that I can hinge on. But you see, the thing is, when I'm in here building these, my wife actually thinks I'm building the extension and I'm fitting a kitchen. What she doesn't know is I'm actually building pigeon boxes for the cocks to breed more birds. So if I'm in here, she thinks I'm doing work on the house, but secretly pigeons